Hey, what is up, everybody? Let me adjust my audio. I was recording the voiceover for the last video, so it's probably not where I had it for the live streams. Hello, hello, hello. Looking good now. All right, let me know if it's off. What's up, guys? What's up, Disco? What's up, Pudgy? Pudgy's, how you said you have 2 new bike reveals this week if you get away from work. Yeah, me and Pudgy were chatting. Originally, well, I planned to go to Columbus a couple weeks ago, but the weather was horrible. And so I was thinking this would be the weekend I'd go. But as Pudgy was saying, he's really busy. I think Disco said he's not going to be there. And now my week is really hectic. I have a shoot every day this week. At least I had 3 today. So at least 1 every day this week. And so Saturday's not looking that good for me. And plus, the whole point of me going down to Columbus was to hang out with you guys that are down there. So if 2 of the guys I'm going to see aren't going to be there, probably going to hold off a little longer on that. Plus, I really want to watch the last spring classic of the year on Sunday, Liège-Bastogne-Liège. So probably going to hold off on that. Haven't posted in the Discord yet. And I haven't posted much, and I'm just catching up now because we were mountain biking and biking in Pennsylvania all weekend, and there was like no cell coverage at our campsite. So we only got cell coverage at the overlook. If you saw the video, it's a huge overlook over the Allegheny River, and then we ran into town once and had some coverage. So I could get my Stravas uploaded if I walked to like the tree line from where we were camping, which was a little rise. Of course, the most important thing was to get the Strava routes up, but that was it. So I've been still catching up on everyone's texts and Instagram and all that stuff. And then on Monday, Well, Sunday night and Monday I was watching Paris-Roubaix reruns and stuff like that, so I didn't want to look at anything on Instagram or on. I wasn't even reading my text from a couple people because I didn't want to have any spoilers. And after last year's race in the fall, when it was wet and totally insane at Paris-Roubaix, you're like, okay, this couldn't be any better. And then watching a sunny, dusty Paris-Roubaix, you just realize that's the best race no matter what the weather conditions are or the time of year it's held, in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, if you guys don't care about that, it doesn't matter. But Paris-Roubaix, at least go watch the 5 minute highlights on, uh, Eurosport or GCN's YouTube channel. But I'd recommend watching like they do the extended highlights on that are more like a half hour or 40 minutes. But or watch the last, hour of the race. Just amazing. Anyways, already went off at a tangent fast. What's up, Large Marge? Bradley, Dylan, Jay Dandy, Raymond, Rick, what's up? Let's see who else in here. Hey, Big Nate, how's it going? I saw it look like you were getting packed up for your next adventure. Where was that? I saw it on Instagram today. Patrick, how's it going? Who else in here? Hey, Muskrat, how's it going? Cheers. I was just reading your comment on the last video, Muskrat, and I didn't respond because I was laying on the couch, and I'm going to, and now I'm trying to remember exactly what I was thinking about that. Oh, yeah, about the music, about the Strange Division songs. So, yeah, you were saying, so if you guys watched the last video, the song at the end, Muskrat was saying he thinks he played, or believes he played tambourine on it. I can't remember. I know we clapped at the end of it, and I remember like dying during that clapping thing because one of the few ideas I had for the band, I was just the bass player, but I'm like, we should clap during the last part, and it was like a quick clap, and I remember when we were recording that in the studio, it was like we were actually dying to keep up that pace because it's super fast. But yeah, I think I remember you playing tambourine on it. Then you also asked about playing harmonica, and you said on, I believe, Holiday, and I did look it up, Muskrat, and I don't have a version that has harmonica on it. So either Pete or mixed it without the harmonica, or it was a different song that that we are not remembering correctly. But unfortunately, too many of these between then and now, and I don't remember. So if I do turn up a version of one of our songs with you playing harmonica, I will send it your way. So. Pudgy about Paris-Roubaix was saying, as a washed-up mountain biker, it was hard to beat watching roadies grind through the rain and mud at full tilt. Paris-Roubaix was really interesting this year, too, because they were talking about all the flat tires, and the commentators and the articles I've read since seem to be the belief that a lot of the pros... Oh, it looks like is my mic distorting? It looks like it's a bit hot, so I'll turn it down a little bit. Let me know if it's all right. But the consensus that I've been reading is that a lot of the teams were going tubeless this year, and that they were actually pushing how low they could run the pressure too far, and so they were like either burping the tires or blowing them out. But I mean, if you watch the race, there were flats left and right, which is typical for Paris-Roubaix, but the commentators seemed to believe it wasn't. There were way more than there should be in a dry year. I'm trying to think. I'm like, obviously I've watched some reruns and highlights of the 70s and 80s versions. I'm just thinking box section rims running like super high pressure and I guess they were always running tubulars back then, and even up until a couple years ago. I'm thinking like, is it just a short-term memory thing where people aren't remembering how often people flat, or were there really that much more than usual? But yeah, either way, such a brutal race, such brutal cobblestones. Most of the riders, they said this year, were on 30 mil. So if you think of road riders, that's pretty wide. And Mahoric, who almost won, was running 32s. So 32 mil tires, and then pro rims, modern rims are so wide that I bet, as we've done on this channel with rim combinations and tire combinations, I bet if you put a caliper, they're actually even wider than 30s and 32s. So, interesting. It's just, I love watching that race. And like you guys know, I've been there. So I got to stand in me and Aaron stood in the Arenberg Trench when the cyclist came by. And it just amazing to see how truly rough how absolutely rough those rides are. It's better to watch on Instagram when they do the recons and someone's doing like a pan shot with them, like riding on the trail next to the Arenberg Forest and showing how much those bikes are truly, truly bouncing. On race day coverage, you don't really get to see the full extent of how those five, like Mont Saint Pavel and Orchies and yeah, Arenberg, how rough those cobbles truly are. But yeah, anyways, Rick wants a 3 minute highlight. Yonda says he has to build wheels tonight, so no stupid questions that require a furious rant. Yeah, he has to put down his wheel and start arguing. Muskrat, you talking about the songs? We'll have to re-record it. You'll practice. Yeah, I haven't. I have some videos where I've used my band songs in, but I haven't done it for a while, and the videos get about twice the views, I guess, of the last time I've done it. So I figured it's worth throwing a couple in there again. I mean, like I said, they're like my band songs. I was a bass player. My friend Pete wrote them, but I worked on them together with him. But they're his tunes and his guitar playing and him and Wes singing, depending on the years. So uh, the the opening song on that video was a friend wrote that for me. I traded him. I filmed a music video for me, and he wrote me a couple songs that I could use in my cycling videos and have the rights to. So, like, while I'm doing the voiceover in the background, that's my friend Robert, who owns the electric company, and that's where Micah, who does my graphic design, has his studio, which is in the same building. And then it was Wes, who used to be our singer. His band White Lighter was the next song, but then all the rest of the songs were different era songs from my band. But yeah, it's fun to use them. I really like the songs. I always said I was our guitar player, singer, songwriter, his biggest fan. So I always said I didn't need to write songs because he wrote my favorite songs. So I still love hearing them. Like said, and it's not a flex because I didn't. They're not my songs. But yeah, no vice grips. Pudgy plays cowbell. Disco says, so talking Perry Roubaix, he would take 650B by 48s. So the thing they say in like the pros, like they always go back and forth on tire pressure. And I don't know if you guys saw that who was it? One team was running tires that had adjustable tire pressure, so like they could actually like change it. But the thing they say about Perry Roubaix, right, is it's a 260-kilometer race, and 55 kilometers are on the cobbles. So you're always there. So they're trying to have that balance between what works best for the gnarly cobble section and what works good on a relatively flat course. So some of the teams just go on, like Matthew Vanderpool, both years has gone straight on aero bike, normal tires, fairly normal tire pressure and stuff like that, where other teams are adjusting. They showed too how Specialized and what they sponsor, Total Energies, Direct Energies, whatever they're called, and Sagan's team now, even though he wasn't there, and Quick Step, they have that adjustable shock in the somewhere in the head tube. I don't keep up on that stuff that much, but they were showing when the one Quick Step rider came off the cobbles how he locked out the suspension then in the headset. It's funny, Perry-Roubaix, they've always like tried like these gimmicks. Like they actually had, I don't know if they were actually the RockShox brands, but in the 90s, I think even Museo and a couple of the riders were running like mountain bikes. Like they weren't the mountain bike version, but they were similar and they were made for road bikes, and they ran those at Perry-Roubaix. And again, all that stuff usually falls by the wayside. I think that adjustable tire pressure will fall by the wayside. Again, I think it's pretty dumb to build these super stiff carbon bikes and then put suspension and like heavy components on them when you could just make a bike that has compliance built into the frame. But, bike companies' jobs is to sell bikes, and so that's what they're doing, and to sell new and exciting features. So, and the pros have no choice. They have to ride. Unless you're a very high paid pro, you ride what the team gives you and what the sponsors give you. So, Oh, Big Nate said he's leaving next Thursday, going to be about a 60-day tour through Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio. Oh, awesome. Yeah, me and Large rode through Connecticut and loved it. And I've only done New York riding in, well, Buffalo to Rochester and a little bit in the actual city, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio. I'll be interested to see your route through West Virginia and Ohio because when we planned we decided to end up doing the Gap Trail, but originally we were trying to make a loop from Pittsburgh through West Virginia and Ohio, but we just had a hard time making it a loop. If we were going one way, it wouldn't have been that bad, and could have hit some of the really cool trails in West Virginia and even past Pittsburgh. But to loop back and not double back on the same trail was a little hard to do. I know they're working on that with the what are they calling it? They're not calling it the Rust Belt Trail, but Industrial Heartland Trail. So their goal is to finish a trail along the Ohio River and stuff like that. So, Rick said, "Great tunes, dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate it." Oh, I saw GCN did do a video on that gravel bikes versus roadie on Perry Roubaix. They do one every year. Like it seems like they've done mountain bikes and all that stuff. I've kind of gotten with GCN when they put that little ad thing in the corner. I usually don't watch their videos. I just feel like they're not like uh, I don't. It's like they don't have the freedom to be like honest about stuff. I love GCN racing. I always say that GCN Plus is great. Their documentaries and their racing coverage, I love. But the YouTube channel, I like kind of skip some of the videos now because I'm like, how do I know if like how accurate this is if someone's paying them to make certain things? Yeah. Oh, and then Disco was saying that the Specialized Roubaix, that's the bike I was talking about, has future shock. So yeah, and so you like that. Cool. Yeah. I could see some of that being worthwhile. Again, though, I just think it depends on what you're trying to do in life. I'm not a racer, so I could just ride a steel bike that has like the steel frame has, you know, that compliance and flex built into it. And I'm not racing up hills or anything like that. Even though I live in a hilly city, I don't care. But I guess for certain uses, it makes sense. I just like simple stuff that is going to last. And I worry about stuff like that, just wearing out and becoming landfill. And I'm not putting down the future shock. I'm just saying in general, stuff like that. But oh, Pudgy said it was the RockShox Ruby SL, what they were using in the 90s. Yeah. They, I don't think anyone won on the shocks, but a couple of the big names were riding them and came really close. And Pudgy said, I hear the Syracuse highways are nice to ride on. When we were out in Syracuse, actually on our way to Connecticut, we did a ride after having dinner at was that a brewery? No, it was a really good restaurant with good beer, craft beer and drafts and stuff like that. But I picked a Strava route around this lake in Syracuse, but it kind of threw us through a big highway interchange, and it got real sketchy, and we almost went the wrong way. And if you did, you would like ride out onto the highway. So, but I did read about that after the ride, and that's just a pinch point where there's kind of no other way through. So, oh, Bradley, you did Ron's ride the Spring Fling this weekend in Connecticut. Yeah, I saw his pictures of it after the fact. Like I was saying, I didn't have anything on over the weekend because I was, well, one, I barely had service, and two, trying to avoid any Perry Roubaix spoilers. Oh, that's awesome. I probably saw you in the photos. It didn't seem like it was a huge group. Was that kind of like a private invite thing? Because I also didn't see any posts about it, having done Nutmeg. But I saw like Helmet Kids posted a bunch of photos, and then yeah, Ron's and what's her name? His woman's name. I hate saying it like that. I just can't think of Aria. Yeah. Muskrat, you said you're wearing your headphones and everyone's voice sounds much better. Just my voice, right? Oh, was Brian out there too, Pudgy, on the Connecticut ride, the Spring Fling? it was cool seeing it's cool seeing some of those pictures now that I've been there from Nutmeg last year. So like when I see Ron's photos or Helmut's kids' photos, they're like photos I recognize. Even Pudgy, where I ran into you and Brian, me and Large did at that whatever the name of that castle way up on the hill before we caught the ferry was, and stuff like that. So it's still cold out there. God, it's 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 horrible. Today was all snow. Like I got to the hospital right by my studios where my first shoot was. And if you guys follow, I don't know, I think I put it on my photography Instagram account, but it started coming down like crazy. It actually covered the ground again for a little bit. It's mostly gone now, but Dylan says I just like pushing puddles. Yeah. Muskrat, you're working with glue today. Oh, Bradley said the Ron ride, the spring fling, wasn't private, but it was only a week's notice. So probably about 30 people. Yeah. Connecticut's a long drive for us for a week's notice, for sure. Yeah. Pudgy said Ron sent out an email. Huh. I didn't get anything. I don't know if you have to be signed up for something, but I got all the nutmeg emails. So Gillette Castle is the castle in Connecticut. Yeah. And Bradley says about the Connecticut ride, the first 40 miles were sick. The last 10 was pretty gnarly single track, and you were super underbiked. Well, that describes my weekend perfectly because we were mountain biking on some pretty. I guess they're fairly renowned. I didn't know that, but mountain bike trails. We skipped all the Black Diamond stuff, but yeah, we were underbiked. But there were some really flowy sections that we really were able to like fly through, and they were a blast on gravel bikes. And I would have preferred. I was happy to be on my gravel bike in some of those, and then also a lot of really punchy climbing out of the sections where I was like glad to be on that bike because I'm just really comfortable climbing on my gravel bike. I could have used a couple easier gears, which I'm about to have because uh, I traded Pudgy for a 1134, which I was just waiting till spring to install if spring ever comes around here. So Jay Danny says snow and daffodils. I love April. Yeah, the Instagram story I posted was tulips, so it was actually snow falling on like the tulips which are about to bloom. Snow and daffodils is not that unusual. Snow and tulips is a little more rare. Last year we got, like I said, last year we got a fairly late April snow, or mid-April snow, but again it was gone in a day, and it was also warm on either side of that snow. So yeah, today. So I had a shoot at the hospital. Came home, they called me and they're like, "Hey, we have a couple more people to photograph." So I went back and did a couple more portraits, and then I had scheduled at 2 o'clock a shoot in Poland, Ohio, which is southeast of Youngstown. So if you took 76 or 80 to Youngstown, you would then jump on their inner belt, like, well, it's not really an inner belt, but across city, suburb connecting freeway. And so like and it was the last shoot of the day. So usually when I have something like that, I'll throw my bike in the back and be like, well, if I've got to drive all this way, it's about an hour for me from here to Poland. I'll bring my bike and try and find a place to ride around. Today with this snowy weather that changed over to rain a couple times, back to snow, it was the same out in the Youngstown suburbs. I'm like, oh, that, I'm not I'm not going to mess with that. But I'm like, I still want to do something. So I ended up going and getting a late lunch, early dinner at this bar called the Royal Oaks, which Eric, my buddy who lives in Boston now, used to always take us to when we were in our 20s. Speaking of my old band, he was the drummer. So he would come out here to Akron for one practice, then we'd go out to Youngstown, and we would end up at this place. And it's one of the oldest bars. It's opened in 1934. It's amazing. It's just this classic dive bar, and the owner's name is John Kennedy. So there's all these JFK pictures in there, and then their other theme is Pabst. So there's vintage and modern Pabst memorabilia. Just a really cool spot. But it's kind of, I could show it on the map too. Um, but you could tell it is like when they put the freeway through, it's like one of the last buildings standing here. So you see 62 or whatever that is. So here's downtown Youngstown. And now it is on the wrong side of this divided highway. And so their slogan is, it's in the hood, but it's all good. And I didn't realize that when we were in our 20s and stuff, but it is like kind of a rougher section of Youngstown. Well, back then, everything was a rougher section of Youngstown, even downtown. But you look at it being this narrow building, like it used to have buildings all around it, and it's just this lone place that still stands here. I mean, it's the kind of place where like the floors, you could see the wear marks, the awesome back bar and all that kind of thing, like where from the bartenders for almost 90 years have been rubbing against it, are worn down. Really awesome spot. So I actually had a couple beers and dinner there. I got home and I barely made it to the stream because I started to fall asleep on the couch. But yeah, just such a great spot. I was so glad to go back out there, and I was texting Eric while I was out there. So yeah, you drive that far, so that's Youngstown there. So you could see to Akron is a pretty good, pretty decent drive all the way to the pretty much Pennsylvania border. But yeah, would have liked to be riding or have done something more fun, but the weather looks like starting tomorrow we're going to get a warm up for we have Woody's Roach Clips 420 ride, and then going towards the weekend it's supposed to go into the 70s and some say even 80s. So oh, what's up, Lanky? He said uh, Dilbert Duclos LaSalle won Roubaix in 1992 on a Le Mans with suspension. Huh, I didn't know that. Hey, what's up, Chris McCallum? Does Poland, Ohio have pierogies? I am sure there are a lot of, I mean, I didn't look, but I'm sure there are plenty of ethnic enclaves in Youngstown. So yeah, Poland is kind of like, I know I spent some time there when we were younger, but seems a little more rural still, like very rural and suburban. And then Bradley asked, "Have I ever been to Thurman Cafe in Columbus?" I don't think I have. I've been to so many places in Columbus, but I don't think I've been to Thurman. There's a couple people on the stream, Bradley, that are down that way. So Muskrat said his ancestors founded Youngstown and were not taking it back. Oh, I didn't go to live chat. Good idea. So I might be missing some messages. Sorry, guys. At the top there. Same goes for everyone because we're a small enough group. Switch it from top chat to live chat because it'll show what it thinks you should see instead of, yeah. So Disco, who's down in Columbus, says Thurman is good, but he has so many better recommendations. Pudgy says the place is known for obscenely large burgers. So now I wish I had. I do have a couple photos that I posted to Facebook, but yeah. Now I don't know if the Royal Oaks always did this, but they are known for doing. They smoke ribs. They actually had a hearse sitting outside with best ribs anywhere type was their sign. But yeah, so this is the outside wall on the Royal Oaks, and I think I took one photo inside, which is more of my beer because I was taking it to show my friend Eric than anything else. But yeah, so I had a craft beer. They had a local uh, beer on draft that I had never had before, so I've never had any of the beer from this Youngstown brewery. And it's one of the places I want to ride my bike out this summer, but I had to have a PBR because it's like the theme of the place, and that's definitely what we were drinking in there back in the day, all the time. So yeah, just an awesome spot. One of those just you have to go classic type places. I think a lot of people are probably afraid of that neighborhood, but like I said, I've never had any trouble there. I mean, probably probably should have been a little more cautious when we were there in our 20s, super late at night. You know, I was there at 3 in the afternoon today, so. Dylan says he does have recommendations. The best part of biking is eating. Muskrat, you'd end up like Jimmy Hoffa. Hey, Rick, it's a little early for that language. Oh, Bradley, you're vegan too. So yeah, there's a number of vegans on the channel. So let's look it up. Let's look up that place on the map because maybe I'll know if I've been there then. It was Thurman, right? Thurman. Did you call it cafe? Let's see. Thurman Cafe. I might need something to. Whoops, I wanted to put that in the maps. Hang on. I messed that up. Oh, this is right by Fox in the Snow? Huh. I don't think I've been there, but I know the exact neighborhood. Isn't the bike shop right over here? Wait, Fox in the Snow is not the one by the bike shop. Let's see. Rustic Tavern with oversized burgers. Thurman Avenue. I don't think I have been there. Let's see where we are in Columbus. I need to get a better visual. Oh, German Village. Okay. No, I haven't been there, but I've been right over in the neighborhood because I know I've been here. So, see if there's any photos. Oh yeah, yeah. It's looks like a place I would definitely have been in, but I don't think I have. Hey, what's up, Dimitri? How's it going? The Thurman has been on food TV shows like Diners, Driving, and Dives, probably. The place I was talking about in Youngstown was actually on that Bar Rescue. I never watched the episode, and I was talking to the bartender tonight, and I was like, I was afraid they were going to have ruined this place because I haven't been there in probably, got at least 10 years, and I didn't want to watch the episode, and I was like, but the bartender was like, nah, they gave us a new POS system, put in these lights over the bar that actually matched the original vintage one, what the vintage ones would have been. And she was like, they made a few like little things, but you know, they knew they didn't want to mess with the aesthetic. It was more like to the owner. She was even said he came in, John Kennedy. He was about to go to the dentist, so he was like, I don't do Novocaine, so I have to do a bunch of shots. So he was doing shots with all the customers at the end of the bar. And again, this is like 3 in the afternoon. So I'm sure Bar Rescue was trying to change that kind of behavior was a big part of probably what they were doing on the show and stuff like that. But yeah. Dylan, there he goes. I wonder if Guy Fieri blessed Thurman's with his frosted tips. Oh, Disco said there are two different Fox in the Snows. Ah, so maybe that's because the one I went to, I believe, had a. Um, yeah, maybe this isn't the one I've been to because the one I've been to had a back courtyard. So, yeah, maybe I haven't been down Thurman Street. As you guys, some of you know, Aaron is a coffee expert snob, so we always hit all the good coffee shops when I'm in Columbus. Yeah, no, the one we've been to would have been more towards Ohio State. Where am I? Nah. Anyways, oh, I'm looking at the map, but you guys aren't looking at the map. Anyways, it's in Flavortown. Thurman's was on Cops. Oh, Bradley said it does look like a place I'd dig. That's why you mentioned it. So yeah, hopefully I definitely not opposed to getting down there when next time we're going. What we were talking about when we were meeting up, the original plan was to hit Hoofard Brewing because I've never been there and we love their beer. There's a taco place in Kent that gets their beer a lot and we're big fans. And they also sent the truck up here. They have a truck that does like you could order and then they do pickup. So we did that one time too, me and Aaron, but and Large and Brad. So funny Brad. Yeah, Columbus is pretty well known for um, yeah the food scene. Plus, there's so many young people and so much modern stuff going on. You know, I don't mean this with any offense, but when I was sitting in the Royal Oaks in Youngstown today, I was just like, even like that place, it's close, but I'm like, I love going to Columbus and I love like the energy and all the cool spots, but there's just I'm like these kind of gritty places that Akron and Youngstown and Canton and even Cleveland have. Like I know Columbus still has some hidden gems, but and Columbus is doing way better as a city than our cities up here are, but I'm like these are my kind of spots. I just love it. I just love the you know, again like a place like the Royal Oaks during like when I'm there, it's like, people like after work crowd, off work crowd, and then in the evening does become like that total mix where there'll be bands playing in the back and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, Disco. I know about the petition to change the name of Columbus to Flavortown. We were all about it. So yeah, Dimitri waiting for spring to arrive. That's what we're waiting for. Hopefully this weekend. Ah, Dylan said Fox in the Snow pastry boxes, but none of it is vegan. Yeah. Bradley said, "What is the coffee spot in Columbus?" I would have to ask Erin her opinion. See what you guys said because I'm way behind on the chat. Dylan said, "Parable." How do you say it? Parabel. Parable Bradley. Huh. Oh, Muskrat thrifting at Schottenstein's. I remember that place, but yeah. And Pudgy said last food ride Disco took someone on and almost killed Malk. Oh man, I have a guy who keeps rescheduling these headshots. I picked up First Energy, the huge energy company up here, and he's rescheduled his headshot like 3 times. And now I think this time he's trying to reschedule it for at 9:30 at night when it was supposed to be today, and then tomorrow will not work for me. Oh well, whatever. Disco, yeah, yeah. I feel so. Disco was saying he would show me some gritty shit there. I know it still exists, but like even some of the stuff along High Street and all that, like um, man, there used to be clubs like the High Five and Larry's and Bernie's and all that stuff right there in Columbus. Now, I'm sure like once you get out into the neighborhoods, a lot of that stuff still exists, and especially on where did Erin go to that farmer's market where she was surprised by, in Columbus is like in the one direction I know is different, but yeah, there's none of that. Like you can't say there's much of that in the main strip along High Street or either the blocks along High Street all the way from downtown through the university anymore. I mean, there used to be the liquor store I remember we went to that was in Short North or near Short North that we would only go to if it was before a certain time. So yeah. Yeah, Dylan said it's a totally different city from even 3 years ago, for sure. Yeah. Buckeye Donuts, yeah, I've been there too. Parable is the name of the coffee shop. Oh, what's up, Malk? I missed you. I didn't even see that you were in here. Oh, you got it. Yeah, dropped a couple emojis. Yeah. Pudgy, you don't like German food or beer? Were you responding to someone else? what is the what's the coffee shop we always hit? Are you in here, large? Um, let's see. I'll actually remember to pull the map up this time when I'm zooming around Columbus. I never look at the map of Columbus like this, to be honest. Columbus is a city I know from being on the ground. It's taking me a minute to get used to where I'm looking. Okay, there's Wolf's Ridge. I know that place. Is this the other Fox in the Snow or the one we were looking at? Okay, so this is probably the one I've been to. Okay, here's fourth. Is this sixth? Where's fifth? Oh, okay, here's the university. Buckeye Donuts, as we were just talking about. Okay, lineage, been there. Yeah, we're usually mapping it as we go, and I'm following Erin wherever she's trying to get us to the coffee shop. Okay, here's the Newport. Yeah. Huh. Where's Paradise Garage? There's one right. Isn't there one that closed that used to be right next to Paradise Garage, the bike shop? Oh, way over here. Okay. Oh, so this is something different. This used to be the coffee shop we always went to by the bike shop, but it's not there anymore. Can't remember what that used to be called. See if someone says it in here. All right. Anyways, enough about that. I'm way behind on the chat. Pair of balls, Lars said. Let's see. Reading all the comments. Dylan said, Destination Donuts just relocated from North Market to Clintonville and he is going to get diabetes. Oh, Malk got food poisoning on some German food on your ride last week. Gotcha. Man, I'm glad it's been a while since I've had food poisoning. I think that's like one of the worst things that can ever happen. Man, the sickness of food poisoning and like fucking, excuse me, projectile vomiting is just. North Star Large? I don't. That name doesn't sound familiar to me. Oh, Lineage is closing, Disco said. Yeah, I saw a post about that on Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, Lineage is closing. What? Elevator closed? And Elevator's bar was beautiful. Talk about an old, beautiful bar. Not, I mean, they had their brewery around the corner, but the Elevator where the restaurant is, me and Large ate there once too, but that was a beautiful bar. I hope someone took that over and kept it the same. God, what I can't believe I can't think of the name of what that coffee shop that was by Paradise was because it was I've been there like a bunch of times. We went there in Ohio to Erie the one time too, before they closed, and I think the next time we went to Fox in the Snow when we were in Columbus. But Rick said food poisoning or sciatica, pick one. So if sciatica was only the duration of food poisoning, I would take sciatica. But when I've had bad sciatica, it's lasted like all summer. So I would take food poisoning because as bad as it is, it's over at least, after about 12 hours usually for me. Maybe even a little less. But it lays me flat, like you can't do anything. But so I would take food poisoning over sciatica, but in the moment that I was sick, I would probably wish that I had sciatica instead. So, mission. Yeah, mission. That's right. Oh, he said it was across? I thought it was. Are you sure? I thought it was here where this Rossi place is. Oh, wait, I don't have that up. So, here's Paradise. I thought Mission was in this building because they had that like side patio. And when this was all closed for construction on Price Avenue, I have a photo of us back there. Let's see. See if I labeled anything Ohio to Erie that has that photo in there. We took a different route the route the year I actually labeled stuff right. Maybe I labeled it Columbus. I used a picture of me and Brad in Mission for the time you came on the live stream, so I have a photo of being in there somewhere. By the way, have any of you guys been to the Roomba Cafe? That's where I went when I was down there in the fall, right before Omicron hit. Saw the Queers play. But I had never been there or heard of that venue before. I mean, my band played in Columbus all the time, and that was the first time I had ever been in that spot. Pretty good spot to see a show, just typical small venue. But anywho, let's see if I can find what I'm actually looking for. Oh yeah, this is all at and by Mission. So yeah, that's when that street was closed down right there, and that's outside of Mission. And I think we're outside of Mission, facing Paradise.
Waffles underscore and underscore coffee became a member.
Wow, thanks Waffles underscore and underscore coffee. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is Mission, so right here. So he's outside Salon Lofts. So let's see. Huh, not seeing that other building. Anywho, doesn't matter that much. let's, let's see. Just laughing at these comments. Huh. Wide angle Ben. Oh, do I? Oh, desktop is very low. Okay. Yeah, got it brought up now. Sorry, Waffles and Coffee, for not getting your audio in there. But I did repeat it, so they said I have to read it out loud when I mess it up in a voice. So I think I got my Waffles underscore and underscore coffee became a member. So yeah. Um, Speaking of members, I will have a video. So the mountain biking one, I was gonna from the weekend. I was gonna take like the clips of like some of the long, smooth runs, and string them together. I'll put it out as a members video. So if any of you guys are interested in where we were riding, you could see what some of the uncut footage looks like. I didn't film everything, obviously, but some of the fun long sections are. And then I think on the stream on Thursday, I'll play some in the background where we could discuss like what it was like. I'll see, depending on the time, if Large or Funny Brad or perhaps even Aaron are available to be on and talk about it. So, yeah. Also, Waffles and Coffee, link your Discord, and there's a member thing in there with discount codes for swag and all that kind of stuff. So, I didn't make the weird noise. You're right. It's. Yeah, wait, I need this. So it's not all. What do they call that when you're talking into a mic? Plusence? That's what P sounds, so you need these screens. So is the great number noise. Oh, I just knocked a framed picture onto the ground too when I put that back. So my accents are awful. I've never been able to make an accent. So you are right. Yeah. Waffle says Durace is kind of fancy for him. He's a ratted out Sora kind of guy. I'd rather go used 9-speed 105. If I'm going to take a step down, I'd rather go back a couple speeds, you know. I went right over it, Disco. Am I wrong? Was Mission over here? It's not the Rossi building? Oh, maybe. No, there's the windows, right? Let's see. All right. Sorry, I'm obsessed with this. I really believe it was that Rossi building. Am I wrong? I thought you only had to walk over the side street, not the high street. The high street. Now I'm British. There you go. It's looking like they really classed this place up, or it was always classy if I'm wrong about the location. Huh, that's it. Oh, Street View, you guys were saying. Where's my little guy that you throw out there? Yeah, that's it. The blue door. There we go. Oh, so the bar was always here. Mission was in here in the back. Got it now. This is where Mission was. Oh, and there's the salon lofts from my photo right there. So, yeah. Cool. It's settled. I feel comfortable with this revelation. Where are we at? Is there something? Should we talk about bikes? But you said this is by far the most effort put into an out of business coffee shop for sure. You know, the Aaron's like this too. When we get a hold of something, we just need to like know, or it's just gonna drive me crazy. Did Mission fail there, Disco? I didn't. I thought Mission had a when they closed, they had like a goodbye thing, like they had problem with staffing and stuff like that. I didn't believe they actually failed. I thought like the owners were kind of done and there was a lot going on, but I could be wrong. So, I mean, I don't live in Columbus, so manic is the word you're hunting for. You're right, Pudgy. Actually, let's see what everyone else. Speaking of manic, let's see what everyone else is drinking. Only a couple of drink picks tonight. Um, Muskrat was drinking a Strange Magic. I almost grabbed that when I grabbed this. I grabbed a different Fatheads and Head because instead, because it's one I hadn't seen before, which is the must be brand new Juice to Jupiter. Oh yeah, no focus tonight on my no autofocus on my camera, but it's a tangerine IPA. It's pretty good, 35 IBU, 6%, so pretty typical for an IPA. Excuse me. And what does Disco have here? Noctura Brewing Company, Snow Bomby, Raspberry Creamsicle Blonde Ale. Snow Bomby? What is that? What are they going for with that? SNO Bomby? Is that the kind of butterfly or moth on there? Oh, I don't have them on the screen. Whoops. Ah, man, I am not doing well tonight. I said I'm tired. Camping in the cold all weekend. So there's the Snow Balmy. And Muskrat's Strange Magic. What is this book you're doing? The Yankee Art Magazine Book of the Yankee Magazine Book of Forgotten Art. Dill, Rick, Street View finally. And Disco said businesses in the short north, but not on High Street, fail all the time. Yeah. Pudgy said Technicolor hat, but Discord won't let you load pics for some reason. Is it giving you that message that their pics are too big? Because sometimes when I try to upload photos to Discord, it'll say the files are too big. Because they have like a paid version called Nitro, and if you upload or upgrade, then you could upload whatever you want. But I get it sometimes, so being that I have like Photoshop and Lightroom on my phone, I'll just downsize the photos or from desktop do the same thing. But or post just one instead of if you try to do like four, sometimes it'll be too big. So Rick asked me how long it takes for me to pick out a beer. Um, so I most of the time, I'd say 80% of the time, walk over to the drive-through, and so if cars are coming in, then I'll be like fairly quick. So I would say under a minute. Uh, it depends on where I'm at, and yeah, I they have like a number of breweries I know I like, so not super long at the drive-through. If I'm at the grocery store, I might spend a little bit more time. Um, but sometimes I know I'm in the mood just to get something that's $10 for a six pack, so it's going to be something like Fatheads or Technicolor at some by Columbus Brewing. You out, Malk? See you later, man. Oh, Large Marge has a smoothie. Beering down from P-Day. Oh, I got you. I didn't understand what that meant. Beering down from Pennsylvania. Yeah, we drank a lot of beers in Pennsylvania. Like we were never like hammering beers. We were just kind of having beers all the time. Like as you kind of, if you drink beer, like as you kind of do when you're camping. And with the way the weather was, sometimes we were just like sitting around the fire for warmth, and so just drinking beers and then waiting till it like got nice, and then we were throwing beers in our bag to go out and ride for when we were going to recover from like steep climbs and all that, or regroup and all that. Oh, Muskrat, your book is about shearing sheep. Huh. Disco. Every time he tries to post his D on Discord, it's too big. Oh, Dylan's out too. See ya, Dylan. Where does that go? Yeah, so there's a place in Columbus when Flavortown Brad, as we call him, when he lived near Clintonville, there's a place that does growler fills, and when we would buy beers there, we'd spend a long time choosing, and they'd give you the little samples, and they have like their shelves are full of all different kinds of beers. Same thing when we ride out to Ken and go to Bottles 101. I'll spend a lot of time at a place like that when we're just like hanging out, and their selection is insane. But so yeah, it totally depends on where I'm at. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? Need the blue moon emoji back? Yeah. uh, yeah. Oh, it's already 10. I'm going to do the break, catch up on the bike picks, and probably call it for the night because I'm going to keep it fairly quick tonight. Said even though this other guy canceled, I still have portraits to be on for in the morning. Just a hectic week, so I'm not going to get carried away with these or even streaming. And maybe on Thursday, like I said, if anyone who was on the trip wants to come on and chat, we'll probably go a little longer. But yeah, let's do the break again. So thanks, Waffles and Coffees, the latest waffle underscore and underscore coffee, latest member. Again, no ads on the streams because of the channel members, so they cover that, which is nice. So, yeah, back in 1 second. I would just like to take this moment to thank the channel members whose names you see on the screen right now. Their financial support really does make it possible to continue to grow this channel. We will be back in a moment, so it's time to crack open another tea packet and start letting the F-bombs fly. Thanks, everyone. So I thought of trying to use the, I was making a video last week, and I thought of trying to use the Tuna Boat song for a regular video, and I couldn't do it. It is so associated with the members or the break in these live streams. I was like, it just doesn't, I can't make anything feel right. I'm like, because I want to do it in a normal video, because, like, live streams, like, what, 20 to 30 people are watching live. Yeah, like right now there's 20, right? 75 views, so people have bounced in and out. And then after a day, maybe 200, where like normal videos get more. So I'm like, oh, there's a whole audience that doesn't even know the Tuna Boat song. But I'm like, I just couldn't cut something to it. I'm like, nope, it has its place. It's got to just stay there. So. Hi, what's up, Obsolescence? He said, there's a pine cone, Rick. You just have to use your imagination with the triangle. I like it. Pudgy. Yeah, I think I've talked about this. We were talking when we were in Connecticut and Syracuse. Pudgy was saying, he's like, I can't go to the bathroom without hearing Tuna Boat. So. There's one other thing I was going to bring up from thinking about that. Then the Tuna Boat thing got in my head, and now I can't remember. Huh. Oh well. Oh, Disco did pull up the description of what that name meant. So there in the Discord. South North Opal, a lively coral outcropping in the Great Barrier Reef. Interesting. It's driving me crazy not being able to think of what I was just about to say. Bicycle dad, come for the tuna boat, staying for the bicycle. Pudgy, that's too. Oh, Rick, you put a new chain on the Romulus. Did you change any of the? Did you change the cassette or rings with that, or just the chain? Yeah, it's. Ah, you're not dropping the chain now. Nice. Let's see. Let's go. Oh yeah, there we go. So Samuel 5. I don't know if he has a different name if he chats in the live chats because I don't. Am I missing that? I don't recognize the name. Let me know if I'm missing it. But out in Chicago, a really cool picture of his Surly. I was looking at the Surly before we came on, and I was trying to figure out, is this the cross check? Uh, nah, it has mounts on the forks though. The cross check, if it had an original fork, wouldn't have mounts on it. But a really cool sunset photo looking over Chicago. This looks like kind of a great commuter or all arounder here with the basket, fenders. Yeah, awesome photo. Oh yeah, he did just go right in the caption that he's new around here. So, oh, that might be a long haul trucker. Do you think? Now look at those chain stays. Isn't the long haul trucker longer than that? Pack rat Disco says maybe. Hmm. Oh, let's see. The tire size might give us a clue. I can't quite tell. Just because there's limited tire clearance on the cross checks. So, hey, what's up, Stoked on Spokes? He says, "Oh, I was right. Look, I was right for once, guys. What's up, Samuel? Oh yeah, now I recognize your name. Yeah. Uh, he said it is a cross check. So, look, every once in a while, even I'm right about what bike I'm looking at. And then Stoked on Spokes, which probably typed that at the exact same time, said he had a Canty cross check with mounts on the fork. Okay. I was picturing our buddy Albert, who's been on the stream a number of times, has a cross check. He had one, an early one, not super early, but it was black, an earlier one that he had destroyed so bad they couldn't even fix it. It needed, I think Yonda welded it a little bit a couple times, but it didn't end up holding. It's the one I think he took on. I think, what did he take it? Did he take that on the Fool's Loop? He took it on one of his trips. That was pretty a gnarly trip. Um, and then he ended up getting a new black cross check, which is probably this model, I think, this era. And then Brad in Flavortown has an early one, a 2013, a green cross check that was Otis's. So, not fun. Did I say funny, Brad? I meant Flavortown, Brad. So, oh, and there's Yonda. Yeah, saying, look at the rear dropouts. Oh, yeah. Isn't that what you welded, Yonda? Wasn't on AJ's Albert's bike? Didn't you actually weld the try to fix the rear dropouts, or was it something like that? I mean, it's not like the bike failed because it wasn't a good bike. It failed because he beat the absolute living hell out of it. He's actually him and Micah. So genuine article on his name. They are they left today for Santa Fe. So if you guys have followed the live streams for a while, I've had them on twice talking about their trips because they always turn into some kind of disaster. So not necessarily a disaster. Well, I guess yeah, I would say disaster is probably an appropriate word. So I told them I already have them booked next week for the live stream to explain um, what will go wrong on this time. So if you haven't seen their live streams, um, I'll link them when I have them on next because like their Fool's Loop one is great, and then the one they tried to do in where were they large in Carolina, somewhere like that, where they got lost, went on a trail that um, bikepacking.com had on their site, and it turned into like miles and miles of hike a bike. Hilarious. And hilarious now sounds miserable in the moment type stuff. So, yeah. Oh, Samuel said he doesn't know what year, but the more recent ones have mid fork mounts. Oh, Yonda said he brazed the drop out, but it wasn't safe to ride, so he pulled it back apart. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited to see what happens on this next trip they go on. They're doing day trips, though. They're doing home base, so their new plan is to have a home base and then just shoot off for day trips from the home base. But knowing these two, well, Aaron already told me. Oh, they were in Virginia. Pudgy said that, and Large said that. So, but yeah, even today, I guess. Oh, Aaron ran into. You were probably there, right, Large? Mike in the shop, and AJ Albert goes. We called him AJ in high school. He goes by Albert now. But had I guess already texted Micah like, when are we leaving? So it sounds like they're already starting in a way that will be amazing. So yeah, were you watching that stream, Rick, when they left? Yeah, he got mad about his panniers on that trip and just hung them in a tree. And on the live stream was the first time he had talked about that because we had the photos and his wife had bought them for him and she was watching the stream. So yeah, of course, made it awkward. So let's see what else we got. That sent me off on a tangent, huh? Oh yeah, so I didn't see any of these while I was gone over the weekend. So this is Dylan. Is this wood somewhere you? Oh, Dylan's gone. He already took off for the night. I wonder if they camped here. This looks like a camp spot. I thought I remember him from Thursday saying he was going to go camping somewhere, but he had a couple more photos. Oh yeah, they're doing hike a bike here. Oh yeah, then I think is this supposed to be the trail they're going over? Oh yeah, no, I had the bikes off for a minute, Disco. So yeah. This is what the oil roads we this is well a little more extreme, but when we the second day when we were in Pennsylvania, the oil roads are the we didn't want to go on the mountain bike trails because it had been raining all night and morning. Turns out I don't think you could really damage the mountain biking trails out there at Jake's Rocks. There were only a couple spots that are like your soil dirt that would get muddy and rut it up. Most of it is so rocky and sandy that the night it snowed, like we went out once the sun came out and we were going to go hit the trails, and if we felt like we were ruining them we were just going to jump off them on the road or turn around. We were like, we're not doing any damage out here, and people have laid rocks in the spots that are kind of dirt too. So if anyone's interested in Jake's Rocks, like it's a place that I think you could almost always ride without doing any damage to the trails, which is nice because it's the opposite here in Northeast Ohio. You can't ride East Rim or Hampton. Who knows when we'll be able to ride Hampton again? So, it's been what, months? Jay Dan, do you think you like the Jones bars? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is Quinn, right? Wait, I mixed the two of their names up because I only met them in person once, and they always ride together. And I look at their Stravas, and I always like now flip him and his buddies' names. Jay Dandy or Muskrat, you said would I take the Marin to Allegheny for sure? And originally I was hoping that Otis would have the cantilevers like set up and everything, but the Marin being a '90s mountain bike with the drops and the bar setup I put on is is um is pretty long, and so with my back being bad, I told him not to worry about it because I can't be like I wasn't able to be stretched out. It's not very comfortable for me to be in a little more slammed position. So the rally on the tops is really comfortable, and then I could get in the drops when we were doing the gnarly stuff like the fast descents. But climbing on the drops on the tops made a big difference for me. So yeah, I would definitely take the Marin out there if I go again to get the wider tires. Because even the stuff that we were able to really kind of like send it down, the really flowy stuff out in the Allegheny, out at Jake's Rocks in the Allegheny National Forest, like just a little bit of I only have 42s on the Tamland. That's all it'll fit. Um, so having a 2.2 would make a really big difference to like smooth out some of that stuff. That's why it'll be interesting. It would be cool if we get Funny Brad on. He rode because we rode some of the same trails on day 1 and day 3, and the first day he rode his Journeyman, and on the third day he rode a really old Surly fat bike. What is that? The Wednesday? No, it's the it's like their first. It's an old one that one of the White brothers gave to Large Marge, and then Large Marge gave to Funny Brad. I'm drawing a blank on the name of that bike. It doesn't matter, but yeah. So it'll be interesting to hear what other people say. I think the our buddy Zach, who rode the Electric Queen with a front shock, that was kind of like the perfect bike for those routes. So Waffle said he wishes the Jones bar made a version with like a 20-degree bend. Cautious about the 40. I'll wish. Yeah, gotcha. Cautious about the 45. Safer, no over the bars with the more upright position. Yeah. Devin. Oh yeah, that's Devin. Yeah, that's right. Devin and Quinn is his other buddy. Yeah. Oh yeah, the early Surly is the Pugsley. You guys are right. Yeah, this was us out there. Not that's Funny Brad's journeyman. Uh, our buddy Mike's. What's his salsa? I don't know all the salsa names. There were like 5 salsas out there at the weekend. Large had his All City. Uh, Aaron was on her crust. So oh, and Patrick Sunday ride Palo Verde trees are in full bloom. Our flowering trees are in bloom right now too, but they're covered in snow. Such a so ridiculous. Muskrat said I handled the rally like an ace out there unless I edited out the bad bits. Yeah, there were a couple foot down sections. There was a couple rock gardens in PA that I like, not rock gardens, but just I think they used the rocks in that. And I was saying a few of them I would have rode if I wasn't worried about. I was fine riding, so like I actually felt better after riding. But the stuff that had gaps and like stuff that I would have really had to push up, my problem was being able to put a foot down and throw a leg over the bar. Like it was harder to get on and off the bike than it was to like bomb mountain bike trails. So like anything that was like a little gnarly where I felt like I might need to bail, like made me more uncomfortable than I normally would have been. But yeah, I didn't edit out a ton of stuff that was too gnarly for us. There was just a little bit, and a couple really steep uphills, like towards the end of the trip that I didn't make it up. But usually I don't film that anyways because since I film with the GoPro in my mouth, um, I can't breathe enough when I'm like climbing a super steep hill. So I hook the GoPro either back in my pocket or over my camera bag. So, oh, Mike's is a journeyman too. Okay, yeah, Pudgy alluded to that earlier. So, Pudgy out here acting like Internet Explorer. I'm wearing my salsa hat actually. I think I'm pretty much have been wearing this all winter. I got it from the Otis Roubaix when they got some salsa swag to give away. I didn't realize Mike's was a journeyman. I guess they could be set up so different. That's why they're such great bikes, right? Here's obsolescences. Which one is this? I can't remember what that frame is. I know it. He's told us before. Did you guys confirm that Brad's other bike is Pugsley yet? Oh, then Disco's got new roof racks. What did you write there? New roof racks. Second one has since been installed. I have friends who swear by roof racks. They like. I've always said like I don't want to have to lift my bike on the roof, but I guess being able, like Erin's, she has the triple on the hitch. I could see the benefit of being able to access all your doors and the back door and everything like that. So, oh, are those Jones bars as well? Yeah. I know it's a roof rack picture, but it's not DSO. Oh, obsolescence. That's the Miata. That's right. Everyone's just gonna. Yeah. It's only a Tuesday. It's already like this. Me and Erin, when I first met her, used one of those Saris racks that just kind of go on the back of your car. They could go on a trunk or on the, like hatchback. But I was always looking back and nervous about that thing. Having a hitch rack or a roof rack where the bike's locked in way better is way more, just a way more comfortable way to travel when you know your bike's secure. I never really trusted those Sauruses that much. I was always nervous about it. And like every time you go over like a railroad track or anything like that, I know I'm just saying a brand name. I know they make 1,000 kinds of racks, but the classic ones with the four, or I guess three, yeah, like yeah, four legs. I just was always worried about it. Obsolescence said easier to show the bike off on the roof. All right, Disco. See you later. I will hit you up when we reschedule some time to come down to Columbus. So hopefully we could all make it work for as many of us as possible. So Rick said PSO passenger side out. Pudgy said you have a hitch and a roof rack currently. Yeah, I think hitch is my preferred, but I don't have a car that I've never had a car that has a hitch. Erin specifically, when she got her she leases, she made sure it had the right hitch to be able to put the bike rack on it. And man, it is great to have a triple bike rack on there. So, Disco said you're out for the next 2 weekends. I think, yeah, I don't even know how far out I am right now. I think next weekend I have to work. Yeah, it's fun work. Shooting for my friend Jason at Birchwood, which does all vintage stuff. Yeah, it looks like either May 7th or 14th. Well, 7th would be still the weekend you're out, but 7th or the 14th maybe for coming down to Columbus. Uh, I don't think I've ever had such a busy spring with photography like my work, which is awesome because it's going to make me way more comfortable with our summer trips and doing what I want over the summer. Um, Having made some money, you know, I work in such a weird business, where it's like I really don't know. Aaron will be like, I want to do this in the fall, and I'm like, I have no idea where I'll be at by then. So, and then I paid my taxes at the last minute last night, and so again, usually I owe um, thousands of dollars. Um, I used a paid version of TurboTax this time to do my taxes, and this is the first time I've gotten a refund since I've been self-employed ever. So I think there was still some COVID stuff in the tax laws that they found because it was like since I made less than I made in 2019, like they found all this stuff. Plus, I had tons of deductions this year. I bought a new editing computer, a new GoPro, a new lens. So it's just all that stuff really. If you're self-employed, you have to just keep track of all that to try and knock down. If you don't do deductions and you're self-employed, you pay 20% of everything you made, and none of that was taken out. So you just owe it at the end of the year. Unless you're like a good businessman and you're putting that into a different account all year long, which I'm not. So, um, a photographer and a YouTuber, and and a beer drinker. So. Oh, Bradley, you said you have a two-bike hitch-mounted platform, Saris, whatever you pronounce that as, and two Yakima roof racks. Nice. Max friends, yeah. Man, if you had a roof rack and a hitch, yeah, you could really. You'd then be just down to the number of people you could get in there, right? What it was Waffle saying here. Went for a ride last year. At the end, I was tanked and went to lift the bike off the top of your Outback. Not that you're not that tall, and tipped over slightly. Grabbed it and your finger got caught between. Oh, the disc brake nearly took the tip of your finger off. Yeah. All right, Bradley. We'll see you later. Oh, muskrat. Yeah, I've got a fatheads here. Slowly nursing one fatheads. So. Oh, Pudgy, you said you could hold four bikes and four people. Yeah, that's great. And then you said 14th might be an overnighter with the shop. Okay, that might be possible too to pull off. We'll see. I've seen all those memes of people pulling into their garage and forgetting the bikes on the top. I mean, memes from real photos are just horrible photos. I don't have a garage anymore, so I would never have that problem. So, Rick said, "Lol, good businessman." You had a record low tax year too. Yeah, I think, and there's no healthcare penalty anymore. So, I usually on my going back taxes, used to pay that healthcare penalty. I didn't have to pay that now, but I was like nervous when it showed I had a refund. I'm like, I must have done something wrong. And then like the software like triple checked it and was like, oh, we found more money for you. And I was like, oh, I don't think that's right, But they did. So I mostly only claimed the money that people actually had on the books this year, though, because man, only like 60% of my income is on the books. People just write me checks and they never 1099 me. So if I ever did get audited, you know, that's just the random people who just come for a headshot and write me a check. I usually put that in there and pay on it. And I was like, you know what? the money I pay in taxes wouldn't put one tire on a B-2 bomber, so I don't care. But Rick said he could hold one person, one bike, and 32 cats. Yeah. Stoked on Spokes. You said driving around Denver, you saw a car stopped as he had hit the parking garage with his bike. What a nightmare. That's the worst. I can't even look at those photos, too. Oh, he said, was a shame. Looked like a nice bike, too. Yeah. Uh, every time I see one of those, I'm like, I don't even want to look at that. Yeah. Pudgy said he disassembled a few bike rack mishaps over the years at the shop. Yeah. We realized when even on our way out to Pennsylvania with the, 3 bikes, me, Large, and Aaron's on the back. Large was driving Aaron's car. We went to the grocery store and actually, sat in 2 parking spots because we're like, oh yeah, can't have the bikes hanging out into the, where you drive in the parking lots. But worst you saw was a Firefly that was just folded hard. Yeah. It was interesting too. Talking taxes, I had a 1099 from Google for the YouTube channel, which is something I would never have thought would be a thing. So, yeah, they put it down as royalties, so it wasn't a 1099 NEC, which is what I usually get from clients. It was a 1099 miscellaneous from Google. So, yeah, I'm looking at my stuff and I'm like, Mountain View. Who do I know in Mountain View? And I'm like, oh, this is YouTube money. So. Anyways, yeah, I am going to wrap it up tonight. I am exhausted and I have to get up early and get to work, which is awesome. Like I said, being busy this time of year is so great. So, bust my ass this spring with photography and videography, and then hopefully get to ride bikes a lot this summer. Hopefully get to see a bunch of you guys too. Like I said, get down to Columbus. I would like to get back up to Philly again. Hopefully in the fall, Nutmeg, stuff like that. So, yeah, as much as I could afford to do it, I want to do it. So, all that super chat money, that's exactly what it is. I mean, that it really is the members and the super chats. Like I said, the ads that are on some of the videos are about maybe now 30-40% of the YouTube money compared to the memberships and all that. So, yeah, looking like good weather this weekend. Got the 420 ride with roach clips tomorrow, so I'm sure I'll be filming and probably have that video for Friday or something like that. Like I said, we'll talk about a little more in depth, I think, about PA on Thursday. Talk to some of the people, see if anyone wants to come on. But if not, I'll have some videos to play in the background and chat about it. Interesting spot. I think everyone who watches this channel would love to go out there and ride because they have riding for every skill set and just gravel riding. So, and road riding. It looked like there was a lot of bike signage for just even road riding out there. So, all right, guys. Yeah, thanks. 50% traveling through's money. Yeah, all his huge super chats. See you, Stoked on Spokes. See you, Rick. See you, Muskrat. Yeah, come on, summer. All right.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is not
Fitzwater photo.